Hello guys and welcome to my new video. Now this is about the one of the most important things when I look at your test code and whether I decide to continue or not continue with your code submission. It is usually a problem when you make the code very quickly and don't consider the niceties that allow you to show off. Basically, I want you to show off when you're submitting the code to me. And one of the problems when people are just doing it quickly, they do two things wrong. The first one I discussed in previous video, and then when the judge thread comes out, basically, no unit test. The second one usually is problematic if you are a mid or senior guy. It might be more acceptable if you're a junior guy. And that is, you have no code structure. You write everything in one file, like this. Okay, this is a very simple example, but even this is not very nice. Um, you cannot write unit tests for it, basically, but, you can restructure it a bit so that it's possible. But if I was looking for a junior guy, I would say, yeah, this is fine. Okay, is it what it is? Does it do the correct thing? Um, it will be a bit harder because you have to like do the unit test yourself, but it is doable. Um, with sort of mid-senior level, no, this is completely unacceptable. Um, so you've got here the read input. Obviously, that belongs to a separate thing, separate class usually. Um, you have the calculate result 1 to 3. Possibly they can be in single class. They can be like in three different classes, whatever, depending on circumstances. But they should not be in the main. Like that's bad. That's really really bad. And so and if you split them up, basically your code is easier to test. So this usually happens uh, when you are quick, want to get it done, just submit, being done. Now, I sort of follow this pattern as well, but it's like a single pass for me. So I would like possibly make this structure on a first run, on a first pass, and make sure that code works. But then there would be a second pass, which would be like, how can I structure this code better? Because this is completely shitty code and I want to make it look nice. And it needs to be like supportable and it needs to be unit testable, etc. So yeah, I would take this one out. For example, this is a file reader, whatever. I don't know. It does something to give me my variables. Um, this is the second thing. Possibly all three of them might be separate in a separate class or in a one class. Calculate whatever that can give you all the results that you need, and then display would be probably still as it is. Now, if you do it that way, it's really good. So if I have something like add new action, like reader, yes, if yeah, I'm showing my typing skill. So I have a reader, and you have read input here. Yeah, so I got a class reader here. I can just do read, read input. Okay, so that looks a bit better. And I can have something like calculator. And I can have all of these here. Okay. And that's okay. Let's get the link done. Okay. So now you do calculator. And you do okay. Something like that. And it looks much nicer. And I'm quite happy with that. This is like a good way to do it. Even better, you add some interfaces. It doesn't cost you almost anything. You just do quick actions, refactorings, and extract interface. It can be even the same file. I don't particularly care. But you know, it doesn't cost you anything, and you are in much better shape. You're just showing off, and you're telling me, yes, I know dependency injection now. And if you really want to show, you will use some dependency injector and basically just not do this, but you ask for your interface instead. But that's like very, very nice to have. Now, one more thing that comes up. Sometimes people like to do in the calculator, instead of using the read result and making this basically pure function, you might call it. I'm not that familiar with functional programming, what they call them, but this is like whatever this is received, this is used in the method. There is there's no um, instance variables involved in the calculation, which I highly discourage, but some people like to do them. So some people would like to do like something, I don't know, public list int read result or something very similar, or get set, or something like void set result, and then basically use this in here. Okay, if you're doing this like this, but it's essentially the same thing. Either if you use it as a property with private set, public get set, or you use something like this. So, and then you set the read result equals read result. So something like this, and then you basically ignore these parameters here. So remove those. Because those are the same, and you think like, yes, I will be smart about this. I set it only once, and I will use the instance variable. So what happens afterwards? I don't know whether people do it, but I do it all the time. If you do something like this, my question will be, have you thought about the threat safety? So yeah, it's a sign of a worse design. You are trying to be clever with this, but you are making it worse on yourself because I can I can change this from outside while you are doing calculation of your results, and therefore basically I can break your code easily. So or I can start adding stuff to your lists. Yeah. So you're exposing yourself to this question, which is completely unnecessary, and you're showing me that basically you either haven't thought about threat safety or you don't know much about it. Uh, okay. I think that's about it for this one. Uh, Let me know if you like this video, subscribe, get notified. Just send me a code if you need some help. We can go over it. Thanks, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.